All right, are we going? All right, I'm just gonna run a few tests here. Ooh, my computer's burning. It's making my stomach all sweaty. You all probably didn't need to know that. So, oh. Let's center this a bit. Can I? Okay, this is the best we're gonna get it. This is good enough. You guys can admire the Roger Dean, right? Right. Okay. Now okay, so I decided that. Okay, so it sucks doing an impromptu. Okay, so 2020 that came and went, right? Yeah, it came, it went. 2020, it came, it saw, left off finally. There's like a really cringy Netflix special about it now. It's called Death to 2020. And Samuel Jackson even appears on it. It seems kind of cringy. Oh, ish. I'm accidentally calling my brother. I just had my phone in my pocket and I have I accidentally call my brother on Messenger. That wouldn't be humiliating, just like I accidentally call my brother on stream, but also it'd be humiliating the fact that I called him on Messenger. Okay, who calls people on Messenger as like a legitimate? It's like a legitimate phone call service. Who does that? Now, I had an image set out to do this because I planned this. I think back in December or January. I had another image set aside. I know I initially haven't set aside back when I did the first one. I had like two of them. I had the Tales from Topographic Oceans I ended up using. I think I had a. I believe I also had a, not Fragile, but I believe I had another Roger Dean cover set aside just in case I didn't end up using. Regardless, I had an Asia album cover set aside. But I figured, why not with this? Right? If you wonder about my cursor there, it's Moletta from Pokemon Black and White. That's why it's animated, staring directly into your soul. So, I was going to do one back in January, December, somewhere around that time. I had planned on it at the not behest of my brother, but he liked it and he should do more. And I maybe I will. And so I that gave me the idea to do more. And so, oh, excuse me. That gave me the idea to do more, and so that's kind of what I ended up doing, deciding to do. And so I planned this, and then I just got decided. I was listening to Yes today, Close to the Edge. What happened was there was a rolling blackout. Power went out because it was like -10 degrees outside, and the power came on after an hour because that's usually a rolling blackouts last. Um, After the rolling blackout, I was listening to Close to the Edge that during that time. Oh my gosh, that what an amazing album! I get up, I get down. It's just, I get up and I get down indeed. And that got me. And then I listened. I was thinking, like, this is like without a doubt one of the greatest rock songs ever made. And it makes me sad Bill Bruford wasn't in the band later. Alvin White never did anything close to this level with Yes. Bill Bruford was the original drummer, and he's probably my either him or Cozy Palace, a favorite drummer of all time. But and so Bill Bruford was drumming was just something else there. And then I thought like Alan White never did anything like that with Yes. And then I go to my Yes collection and go, oh, Relayer, it's used to be my favorite Yes album at one point in time. And then I'm like, wait, this is an album with Alan White. It occurred to me, yes, Alan White did do something similar to Close to the Edge with Yes. It was Relayer. Now, Close to the Edge, the song itself, like 18 minutes of like pure, unadulterated beauty. But Relayer is a little longer, whereas Close to the Edge is a side-along composition. It was 18 minutes. Oh, it's everywhere. Oh. Whereas Close to the Edge is like 18 minutes of pure, unadulterated beauty. This was, Relayer is 21 minutes of awesomeness, really. It's not beautiful in the same way as Close to the Edge, but it's fantastic. Oh, okay, let me clean this up real quick. Now, to comply with the comments on the, I have gotten by some of my friends, I will answer, why three of a perfect, I will answer why three of a perfect pair was made. So, I don't really care about Vinesauce and all that. It's not, I don't really care, but this guy Joel was playing around in 3D Movie Maker, and it got me thinking, like, this is like a cool animation program. I tried my hand at Source Filmmaker, but it was a little too much for me, so I figured I'd start off basic, 3D Movie Maker. How much more basic can you get? And so I'm on 3D Movie Maker. I download it, and I play around with it a bit, and then bing, bang, boom, three of a perfect pair is there. And so the name came from the fact that I wouldn't call myself like a big King Crimson fan. I'd say I'm a casual fan. I like the John Wetton era stuff. Stuff with Adrian Belew is pretty good too. More specifically, Discipline and Power to Believe. Those are my two favorite albums he sang on. But Wetton sang like my three favorite albums: Lark's Tongues and Aspic, Starless and Bible Black, and Red. And one of the albums Adrian Belew sang on was Three of a Perfect Pair, and the name was just a last minute thing. Like I just could not think of a name. I was listening to King Crimson while I was editing it. While I was editing the intro. The intro was made after the show, and I realized I had realized that I need to name it. There's three guys, so I'll just say this is good enough. And so, yeah, and I just kind of just half-assed did it like that. Now here's a little behind the scenes thing. I had finished the first episode in a week, and I finished the first episode in a week. But the problem is that I didn't have it. The program is made in a way where when you save your movie, it's not actually like a video file. It's actually a series of scripts and commands that the 3D Movie Maker program will follow. Basically, it's basically just saving your settings of how you had everything. Oh, excuse me, sorry for blowing my nose on stream. It'll basically save your settings of how you had everything during making your film, and like how everything was when making it, like i.e. you had, it'll save the place like where your actors were and what they did in what scene and how many scenes there were and what everything, all the details in one scene and whatnot. It it's not an actual point is it's not an actual video file, and therefore I can't upload that to YouTube. And it's its own proprietary, even if it was, it's its own file, which is I think the file extension is 3DMM, and so I can't upload that. And so there's like on the 3D Movie Maker, there's a website, a fan-made website about 3D Movie Maker, about telling you how you can export it and everything. And so I tried doing what they said, but all the processes they had were so long and required me using like 3 or 4 different open source softwares. And like there's like 2 different like Goldwave and like one from like the 90s, I think. And it was just like, and it was just too much effort. Like the capture software wasn't even that good. I tried doing it on the way it said on the website. Spent a few days trying multiple ways people on the website have suggested, all of which suggest using weird open source software. And no, don't do it though. If you do want to make something 3D Movie Maker, don't try and capture record it with open source software. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a mistake. So what I did was I took the, so here's what I did. So I went to the Microsoft store. Yeah, I know, I'm probably like the first person to use, I was probably the only customer of the Microsoft store that month. And I went to I turned to the search bar and typed in screen capture software. And this thing, I'm using it right now actually. It's called Screen Recorder Studio. And it was really good stuff, you know. I got it for free. It was only like $10, but I got it for free because it was on sale. Otherwise, I'd probably be sitting with my thumb up my butt trying to figure out how to do this, how to still export it. So after that, I had recorded. I tried screen recording it, but there was a problem in the fact that I had the software right, but the recording was never good because every time I recorded it, there was always some kind of problem happen. For example, I had to record it on my computer with max audio on, just so it could record the volume at max audio. And I'm telling you, I did nearly at least 10 captures. I did at least 10 captures. And it was hell. It was just hell for me. And so I couldn't quite, the only way I could eventually the only way I could get it done was through cropping the screen in a certain way, and it left a big black border around like the left, right, and bottoms of the screen, but not the top for some reason. And so I tried uploading this, and I realized that it would just look awkward like that, so again, I was kind of screwed, so I tried to think of how I could resolve this. And so I settled on a video editing software. Same instance, it was a paid for video software, meaning I knew I at least wouldn't get conned or like conned into uploading something with a big watermark like AVSH4U free, which I used to use for dumb MLG videos back in 2016. Oh dang, that was nearly 5 years ago. So really, I needed to edit this. So I decided to crop out the black board. I managed to crop out the black borders in a not so smooth fashion, and edited in the intro there before too. And my original plan was to edit the intro in with the with the episode in the YouTube editing software, but the YouTube editing software is actually very terrible. So no, I did not do that. So glad that I was able to get it done. Now, where's episode 2? And if there is an episode 2, and how many more do I intend on making if I do want to make more? I don't know. My plan was to have it be like, I initially like, hey, what if I did a sitcom? And so I had planned it out, and I had planned out a few episodes. Like, generally, just they weren't like full out like scripts and everything. They were. I don't like scripting things. I think it makes everything feel a little unnatural. It was more so just like rough ideas, like what I wanted to happen. Like they go to so and this happens, and then it's just everything you see. And like the way I do that, I've been working. I do it with how I've been working on it is like I like to generally plot out what happens in the episode. Like how do we start? What happens? And then all the dialogue is just ad-libbed. I mean, like, I generally plan out ahead of time what happens, but all the dialogue is ad-libbed. Because I think that makes it feel organic. I just personally think it makes it feel organic. And I think that's something you can't take away from it. You can't make something feel organic. It has to just be that way. Like if you could just make something organic, then it wouldn't be organic. I'm starting to sound really stupid here. And now we're at that section of the live stream where I have to stop whatever I'm doing and jag off about the Roger Dean painting. Now look at this. The white crystalline like structures around what appears to be a sort of bridge with knights around it. The snake. Now, the album cover is just like this. It's like this in a 1:1. It's like this right here in a 1:1 aspect ratio, and like this is entirely cut off. Now, Roger Dean likes to paint big canvas type paintings. And I totally respect him for that. I mean, look at this beautiful painting. So, he likes to paint him like this, but in an album cover, it has to be in a 1:1. It has to be in a 1:1 size. So. Ugh. So generally, this was just how it had to be done, and so this beautiful part got off, including the snack. Album's still great though. It's the only Yes album to feature keyboardist Patrick Moraz. He got into a fight with one of the band members and was I think he got into a fight with one of the band members and got sacked afterwards. And then he got sacked afterwards. What happened was like Relayer is a weird time because the album was a bit of a made during a period of transition within the band. It was made during a period of transition within the band. And after the album's completion, all the members were like, let's all agree to do a solo album each so we could have a break. Steve Howe made, what was the album? I remember, like, the album was critically panned. Don't hate on my boy Steve Howe like that. He's a nice guy. Beginnings. Yeah. which Roger Dean also did the artwork to. I might take a look at that in a future installment, just because the album cover for that's a little weird, because it actually like shows Steve Howe superimposed into Roger Dean's painting with a bunch of guitars. Now the album is generally like a bunch of uh, it's progressive rock, albeit in like more direct compositions. And Steve Howe sings the songs himself. And everyone's biggest complaints like that people like to make fun of how terrible Steve Howe's singing voice is. Is he a bad singer? Do I think that? Uh, that's up for debate, really. I think in some songs he's fine, and others he's not. Like on his anthology, not anthology, on his the Steve Howe Homebrew series, which is a series of albums here, which is a series of demo albums he releases where he takes recordings of him playing all the instruments of these songs and demo for these demos at home, and he just puts them on a CD. In fact, the one song, I think it's called White, off of Homebrew 4, became one of my favorite Asia songs. Wish I'd known all along. And so he's not. I don't think he's necessarily the worst vocalist in the world, or like his vocals need to be outlawed. But I feel like if given the option for someone else to sing it, please take that option. Though he actually did one song. Yes, to this album "Fly From Here" in 2011 with the new vocalist Benoit David. It was produced by Trevor Horn and made a reworking of songs that didn't make it onto the Drama album. And so he and so during the making of this new thing called "Fly From Here" Return Trip, which was the same thing but with Drama era vocalist Trevor Horn doing the lead vocals and remixing the album to how he liked it, to how he wanted it to be like his version. He included a song that was an outtake from these sessions called "Don't Take No for an Answer," which I think justifies purchasing it over the original version, though I certainly think Benoit David is a better vocalist than Trevor Horn. He's the guy who sang on the first Fly From Here. And the song and "Don't Take No for an Answer" is Steve Howe on lead vocals. And I actually think his lead vocals in there sound good. I don't think they're like amazing, but I think they're passable. I'd prefer it another vocalist, but the kind of bluesier style of like the verses really suits him. When it comes to the other albums, John Anderson released what many consider to be his best solo album, Olios of Sunillo, I think is what it's called. Let me look it up. I know I told you all to stop hating on Steve Howe's vocals. Stop hating on John Anderson's albums. I saw a Valentine's Day card that said, "Hey girl, are you a John Anderson solo album? Because you suck." You need to stop hating on John Anderson. He's such a nice guy. Yeah. Olios of Sunhillo, which is a fantasy type. It's a concept of like a fantasy telling this fantasy type story of these people seeking a new planet. It's very weird and avant-garde, and his voice is at its peak here. So, yeah, it was good. And so that's guitarist vocalist out of the way. Drummer Alan White made Ramshackled, which was Ramshackle was a fine album, but Alan White isn't even like the star of the show. There, it's released as an Alan White album, but I'm telling you that Alan White is not like the. Alan White just plays drums on there. That's all he does. He only made it because the band members agreed that they would all make one solo album so they could all take a break. It's his only solo album, and like, just, oh. Like Alan White wrote none of the songs. He performed. The only thing he did is play drums on there. This could have been who sang lead vocals on this album. Alan Marshall. You could have easily built this as an Alan Marshall album. He didn't even write any of the songs on here. Now, Patrick Moraz, the keyboardist, he actually went on to play keyboard for the Moody Blues. Released his what's many consider to be his best solo album, The Story of I. There's a big debate over like whether or not that or his next solo album, Out in the Sun, was better, but that's kind of up for debate. The Story of I is about based on a romantic story about like this weird tower in the middle of the jungle. And the tower lures people from all over the world to go inside and to experience the wildest desires and fantasies. But the only rule is that the people inside the tower may not fall in love with each other. And when two people do, they decide to escape, and the tower acts as a prison which enslaves the inhabitants to their own desires. It's a bit of a like a be careful what you wish for story, you know. The album's pretty good. It's a bit of like a jazz fusion kind of thing. Takes world music elements too. But let me tell you, the best album from this period was Chris Squire. Now, Chris Squire only has 2 solo albums. Second one, Chris Squire's Swiss Choir, is a Christmas album. Now, Squire's like the only guy who played on every album, though. As of 2022, that will probably not be the case, as the band has said Chris wanted them to continue without him after he died, and so they're just making a new album now. But he did this album called Fish Out of Water during this time period. It was his only non-Christmas music album. Again, only 2 albums. One's Christmas music, one's Fish Out of Water. And this album is considered this album is generally considered like amazing. It trumps most of the stuff in the Yes discography. This album is just that great. Now, Chris Squire has also sang vocals on every Yes album he's been on. He's not a lead vocalist. I think he actually sings lead on 2 songs, both of which he's amazing on, by the way. But he's more of a backing vocalist and harmony vocalist. That's mainly what he does. But the guy is great, a solid overall vocalist. He did this band with Jimmy Page called Xyz, which stood for X Yes and X Led Zeppelin, because it had Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin, Alan White of Yes, and Chris Squire of Yes. And Chris was going to sing the lead vocals on the stuff, and Jimmy Page was like, "No, I want to get Robert Plant to do this because you're not a talented enough vocalist." And then Robert Plant didn't want to do it because he thought it was too complex. And Jimmy Page was like, "Well, screw you then." He was just so mad he didn't even want to continue with Xyz anymore. Fish Out of Water proves Squire's like an amazing vocalist. Hold Out Your Hand is a brilliant song. Lucky Seven's a great one. This album is just so great. You need to listen to it for yourself. Because whatever I say is not good enough. It's just something, you need to experience it for yourself. Now, they did one of my favorite albums, Squire did another one of my favorite albums, a collaboration with my favorite guitarist, Steve Hackett, and my favorite bass player and guitarist working together. It was called Squawk It. You know, it looks like it's spelled Squawk It, but Steve Hackett calls it Squike It. Calls it Squack It. So Squack It sounds kind of dirty. Stop squacking it in there. The album has them alternating. They both usually do share lead vocal duties on songs, but like they have their own songs or they do the lead vocal roles themselves. Steve Hackett is not as talented a vocalist as Chris Squire. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I love Steve Hackett way more than I will ever love Chris Squire. But I'm sorry, Steve. I hold Steve Hackett if I could have a shrine to Steve Hackett, I would have a shrine to Steve Hackett. That's just how legendary the guy is. He's also credited with inventing finger tapping on the guitar. He didn't actually invent it, but he's admitted to popularizing it because artists like Brian May and Eddie Van Halen were inspired by his use of it. Now, Squike It is generally just amazing as well. A lot of people go into it thinking it's like, oh, like, what if Yes and Genesis collaborated? But it's not. No, it's not like that at all. I'm sorry if you heard that Discord notification. It's okay. I think I muted myself. So so back to the album cover. Roger Dean has said this is one of his favorite paintings he had done for Yes. And like, well, if you look at it, like, I could see why. Look at how beautiful this is. I started checking something. Let me see if I can open up a new window here. Display window capture. Here we go. Sorry, babe. The relayer socks stay on during sex. I got this from the Yes Circle Jerk page. Can I remove this now? No, I can't. My cursor's kind of stuck there. Well, it's not a big deal, right? Oh, now it's dark. Oh, shoot, it's completely dark. You can't see anything. There you go. That's better, I guess. Okay. So, back when I was a part of this Discord community, it was a bunch of great people. Still, people I'd consider friends. We used to do these voice chats. They're a hell of a lot of fun. A lot of people say, like, if you meet a friend online, that's not an actual friend, but I feel like a friend, the definition of friend has become so loose that a definition of friend is now just kind of like subjective, in my opinion. And anyways, I'm getting off topic here. These voice chats, I have a lot of fond memories, despite the fact that I've only ever taken part in, I think, in total, like 5. And I need to clear my throat for this. And so there's this girl, and twice it was just us in the voice chat. Like after everyone else had left, we had still continued talking, and she. We had continued talking, and we started talking about like crappy Minecraft parodies, and so eventually it got to the point where and she had like a Kermit the Frog profile picture, and it got to the point where I was having request songs for you to do like Minecraft parodies of, and I'm like, this is my singing voice isn't cutting this. What do I do? And I see her Kermit profile picture, and I start going, I'll sing in a Kermit voice. And so we were just both like laughing to death, like as I'm doing this, like what song? It was Cruel Angel's Thesis. Okay, I'll do Cruel Angel's Thesis. I'm like mining right. Okay, Kermit impression time. It's not easy being green. My Kermit impression sucks, but that was kind of what made it funny, I guess. It's not easy being green. Mining diamonds and killing creepers. I play Minecraft. Will you be Minecraft girlfriend? So, I don't know. It was a voice sort of like that. And then it all culminated into "Baby, it's cold outside." And then while doing this, I said, she said, singing Minecraft parodies and Kermit the Frog's in a garbage Kermit the Frog voice is my new religion. And now I joked about turning it into a church, but I'm already an officially ordained Dudist priest. So I don't think I could actually I don't think I could actually start a church of I don't realistically think I could actually start a church of Minecraft Minecraft song parodies sung in a Kermit the Frog voice. And this is already the Church of Mute City, the first Church of Mute City. So how far can we go before we realize that it's too far? Oh no, the first Church of Mute City is a thing. Look it up. That was a hell of a night. I'd love to get a friend or two on on stream with me. I'd love to get a friend or two on stream with me, and like actually do this together with them. Because I feel like just me alone isn't enough to really carry this. Yeah, but I'm sorry, Paul McCartney, but I don't think I'll be able to carry this weight. Or was it? I don't even get to bother figuring out who sang that. So, thirsty. So, maybe I'll see about getting her on here, and we can share memories about the Minecraft song parody religion we started. Actually, I haven't talked in like a year. Would it be awkward? Reminds me of this meme I saw of this guy sending a picture of like King Crimson, Neil, Jack, and me to his friend and saying, "Dude, I found a song with your name." And the guy goes, "Dude, we haven't talked in 3 years. WTF?" Well, I don't know a lot of guys named Neil. My computer's being loud and my stomach is sweaty. Peach Sweaty's sweaty stomach. So, to comply with comments from the prior episode, I am going to talk about Fred Durst. I don't like him that much. Yeah. Like, whenever I listen to Limp Bizkit, I think he... I don't want to say he ruins the material, but I'm just going to say he's the weak link in the band. I think he's like one of the only consistent members in the band. He's the weak link. He's the band leader, and he's the weak link. In fact, you could read this online. There's a story of how Eddie Van Halen held Fred Durst at gunpoint. I'm not even joking. Eddie Van Halen held Fred Durst at gunpoint over like some amps and stuff he left at Fred Durst's house during a rehearsal. I'm serious. Eddie Van Halen almost joined Limp Bizkit. It's cold here in Central America, Central North America, Central United States. Is it cold in Eastern United States? Any of my East Coast pals or West Coast pals? Can anybody vouch for it being warmer there? Or is it worse? I heard like New York's supposed to get like 6 foot snow, and I'm just like, dang, that snow's taller than me. Oh, back to the Three of Perfect Pair thing. I'm working on it. Don't know when it'll be out. It's taken me so many months just because I've kind of... I'm not saying I've lost interest. I'm just saying I've gotten busy. I've gotten a little busy with school starting back up again, and I just gotta... School starting back up again. And I don't have the entire... I don't have an... I can't... I'm not the best at thinking... I haven't thought up enough jokes for it yet. Like, I haven't... Like, when I go in there, I'm not thinking of jokes in the spur of the moment quite like I used to. So... I remember one friend of mine was doing this thing with another friend of mine. I watched it. It was funny, a little vulgar for my taste, but it was funny. It was called D&D. I thought it was humorous. I want to start. I've approached some of my friends about starting about like co-hosting, about either co-hosting pictures at an exhibition with me, guest appearing on here, or starting something all new with me. And no, so far, no progress on any of that. So far, no luck on that. No, we haven't gotten... I think part of it's nobody cares. And to be fair, I kind of don't either. That's part of why I'm doing this. Next time I do this, I'm going to take not a 70s Roger Dean painting, I'm going to take a new one. He's been doing this series where he paints live album, where he's showing live him painting album covers for people he's been commissioned to do, like one of my favorite modern groups, the Downs Braid Association, collaboration between Asia keyboardist Jeff Downs and modern pop record producer Christopher Braid. They're doing a new album this year. I think it's supposed to. I think it might have already come out. And they had Roger Dean do the artwork for the last album, which they didn't have him do the artwork for the first two, because those were like, the first one was a band photograph and the second one was like the band superimposed on a vaporwave background. It's nice to see the Roger Dean, and this is like one of Roger Dean's most beautiful paintings I've seen in a while, so I'm really hyped to see when I saw him paint it live on stream. So I'm really hyped for that. And maybe for the album too. Yeah, the artwork. I buy. Sometimes I'll buy an album just because Roger Dean did the artwork for it. I'm not even joking. I may not even ever listen to the album. I'll just buy it just because I see Roger Dean's artwork. That was kind of the case with Asia, though. I heard Steve Howe did guitar, and I'm like, ooh, Steve Howe, let's listen to it. And Asia's my favorite band, by the way. That preconceived notion that King Crimson, Yes, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer fans all hate Asia, or like are bored with it. Asia's my favorite. It has become like one of, if not my favorite band. So, sook it. Friend of mine, Mina, that's also her favorite band. When I told her like Asia's become my favorite band, like, oh, it's my favorite band too. First reaction. I haven't talked in a long time though. I'm growing distant from everyone. I feel. Maybe my lack of continued presence of myself online is just kind of messing me up. I don't know. Sabotage. I asked my friend Marshall if he wanted to come on here and do this with me. For at least just once. Like, okay, well, what's it about? I said, it's about nothing. What are we going to talk about? And I said, well, we'll talk about whatever. And he said, he said, and I paraphrase, who wants to watch nothing? You know what? He's kind of right. And when I go back to the last one, I think all but like 2 of the views in there from me. I don't know if you picked up on the faint sounds of me deflating after saying that, but I've deflated now. I have officially become a deflated balloon. What time is it? It's 48 minutes in. How long was the first one? I just want to get an idea. So today I decided upon something. Okay, 43 minutes. This is longer than the last one already. Okay, so today I've decided that I decided that I'm going to do. I'm trying to be more active on YouTube, and I've been thinking of ideas of content to do. I don't want to focus on any one thing, because I don't want to limit myself. I just want to do kind of whatever, and that's kind of what I've already been doing. For a while, I just let me go up to my YouTube channel right now and check. I want to go up on my YouTube channel and check my recent videos. Yeah, just been uploading random crappy gameplay on my phone. Oh yeah, back in 2017, I was just doing whatever. I was also live streaming again. It was I portrayed this character of Mr. Negative, or he's like Mr. Negative, but like everything around him is also like inverted negative color. And it was a bit of a joke character I portrayed. It was not my finest hour, I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, I'm pulling it up right now. Oh my gosh, the audio quality sounds like it was recorded with a potato. That was like an early inside joke on my YouTube channel. What's this guy commented on a video I recorded with my DS. What's this recorded on a potato? and like now it's just become like that became like an inside joke. Oh, the good old days. My haircut looks awful here. The echo on this is terrible. Oh. You can go back and check it if you want after the streams end, or right now. Even I'm not gonna stop you. Oh, some of his gameplay's awful. Oh, that's right. He's a friend of mine named Mason. He's awesome. Let's end this with you look a little ugly today. What kind of a roast is that? Yeah, you look a little ugly today. I record this at night, and so like everything's white. You can barely even make out my face. I'm blue. Now I'm white. I look like a Radiohead album cover. I hate Radiohead. Fact number 7: I have an infected toenail. I can't. Like the audience need to know that. I just do whatever. What happened to those days? 2017 was. I stand by being one of the greatest years of my life. 2018 and 17. I love Cancer because it makes me feel negative. That's. Can we have that on like my tombstone? I died of colon cancer, and I go, and my tombstone says, "I love cancer because it makes me feel negative." Okay, well I'm done checking that out. This must have been very boring for you all. I okay. So I think I might end this here soon when we near the hour mark. So. Mm. I've considered doing like Leafy is here style videos on like soy boys who give like poor rock and roll opinions. I got the idea because I was watching this review for the new Michael Schenker group album, and the soy boy was complaining about Michael Schenker Fest, saying how much he hated the idea of multiple vocalists on one album, saying it feels like a compilation album. How can you build an identity when you don't have multiple vocalists? I want a stable band lineup. I'm like, are you serious? The Michael Schenker Fest was a stable band lineup, and its identity was in part because of all the vocalists, who were quite frankly rock legends, by the way. And I just thought like I could easily tear apart. And the guy like complains about that in his review and continues to complain about it in his and I just like I could just I want to tear open. I at least want to maybe do some coverage on that, guys. Really poor opinion. I just gotta say, if I do, he's got it coming. I'm sorry, babe, but the Valair socks stay on during sex. Put your warrior accent close out of this. Okay, I'm gonna go check out my stream statistics here. Is the chat loading? Because when I did this initially, the chat. When I did this initially back in June last year, the chat wouldn't load. Oh, cool. David McCrite is in the chat. He looks like a Giga Chad. So some of my friends have been coming to me for like fitness advice, and because I idly mentioned some fitness stuff to them, like a talk conversation, and now I just don't know what to do. So I just direct them to Ellington Darden's website. Yeah, to be fair, I don't really know what's going on either. Oh, I got a like. Whoa. It's showing like the stream health. Playbacks 4, 2 of those are me. Concurrent viewers ones I got like 2, okay. So wow. Stream health. Oh no, my stream's not healthy. It's got a kidney stone it needs to pass and is going to die of colon cancer in the next 7 minutes. I don't know what stream health is, but okay. Michael Schenker. Speaking of Michael Schenker, the new Michael Schenker album's great. Great return to like the classic hard rock kind of stylings. So I want to. So hopefully next time I'll get a guest host and we can wank to the wank around to the new to the album cover for like the new Downs Braid Association album together, like on stream. That'd be lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So today I'm going to, and tonight, it's late, it's not day, it's night. I'm going to program in I'm trying to program in characters into this game I'm developing, and I'm stuck on this one character just because I'm really at the I feel stupid. I feel stupid. It's been like 5 months and I still don't know how to. It's been like 6 or 7 months and I still don't know how to use the SDK, which stands for Software Development Kit. I'm still struggling to get. I'm using a part of the SDK that I've never used before, the Character Creator. It's just it seems so simple when you launch it, but I guess not. I guess maybe I just need to work out like the graphics first. I'm gonna try and work out the graphics before I go back into it. Before I go back into it again, so maybe then that'll fix the problem. Because I haven't loaded up all the character graphics. I know. Okay. And so, if you're wondering if I'll share any of this on YouTube, I will not, because I will not. Because I don't want to get perma-yeeted off the platform. What's so bad if getting perma-yeeted off the platform? Well, I don't want to tell you, because again, I don't want to get perma-yeeted off the platform. I don't know, I'm thinking on starting I'm thinking like in a few years, I'll start a website, and then I'll start a website dedicated to showing off. I'll start my own video hosting website dedicated, like, just for me. And then I'll finally get around to showing it off, regardless of who watches. It'll just be kind of like my secret thing. I'm not going to tell any of my immediate family or friends about it when I do it. Because, again, I don't want to be I get made hugely judged the finger of judgment be cast upon me from all corners. I feel like there'd be some people who would enjoy the kind of stuff I'd post on there. It'd run concurrent to the YouTube channel. I'd probably keep the No More Cheese Dip name if I'm still using it in the future. I've thought about changing it, but I kind of like it the more I use it outside of YouTube. I bought a thing of cheese dip to eat, and I left it out of the fridge. Apparently, it's supposed to refrigerate after opening it, and I didn't know that. And then it just kind of became gross, moldy slime in the jar, and I had to get rid of it. Very sad. Oh shoot, we're passing out. We passed 61 minutes. All right, I gotta wrap this up here soon. Let me just get my stuff right here so I can wrap this up here. Any of you want to see more of this? I don't know, comment if you're watching this retroactively, live. I don't know, anybody want to guest host this with me again? Comment, we could work something out here. I'd love to do something with a guest host of sorts, provided they also have. We could do it through like Discord, Google Hangouts, whatever service works. I have like 33 email addresses. I actually lost like 10 of my email addresses when I had to memory wipe my phone. I couldn't remember 10 of my email addresses, and now it sucks because I had some really important data on one of them, and now I'm kind of effed. Yeah. So yes, you can't have too many email addresses. It is possible to have too many. It's kind of like how when you have too many Baby Looney Tunes episodes and they start melting your brain. Muppet Babies, the show is awesome. Muppet Babies is amazing. But no. Baby Looney Tunes. I get the show is made for like toddlers. But like I have a toddler sister, and she probably wouldn't even be interested in watching Baby Looney Tunes. Actually, I kind of grew up with Baby Looney Tunes. A little nostalgic. No, I was just talking about how much I think it sucks, but now I'm kind of like getting nostalgic for it. I remember I'm now having these memories of like me growing up with it coming back to me as I'm speaking right now. It's kind of sad now. I remember like even like only like even like 5 years ago, I think. Like 5-6 years ago, they were showing episodes of Baby Looney Tunes on Cartoon Network, like in the morning hours, and like I was sick in the morning once, and I felt like crap in bed, and they were showing Baby Looney Tunes. I remember this episode where Taz kept breaking all these breaking stuff and other people's toys, and so what's her name? The old lady who owns Tweety. The old lady who owns Tweety. She gave Taz this toy that it's like toy puppet thing, and it fell. She's like, you just need to be extra careful with it, okay? Because this was one of my favorite toys growing up. And Taz is like, okay, and then he breaks it like after playing with it. Obviously, like who saw that? Who saw that coming? I mean, who saw where that came from? You know. Like, we all saw it coming. So, he breaks it, and then, like, the rest of the episode, he's trying to put it back together, and then eventually he has to come clean to the old lady, and she's like, oh, well, this is actually a Taz-proof toy. See this button on the stand? And then, because it's all, like, held together through a string, and, like, she pushes the button, and the toy just goes back together. You can break it and put it back together like that. And like, oh, wow, that's cool. And it's just like a lesson in coming clean, I guess. Is it a moral in coming clean? Is it a moral in, like, don't break toys? I don't get the moral there. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too deep into it and there was no deep moral to learn from. It's almost midnight. Okay, guys. I'm gonna have to stop this here. If any feedback is appreciated, I suppose. And I'm glad I was able to. I actually got around to doing another one of these. So I guess I'll see y'all later because it's getting late, and I got dishes to do. So I'll see you. I'm gonna. I want to try and get around to this next week. So I'll see about that. See y'all later. Bye.